Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Good to hear you.
Welcome to another insightful ChatGPT conversation. Today's topic is how to create a growth mindset and embrace challenges. In our life, we often face difficulty, failure, criticism, and situations that take us outside from comfort zone. So let's begin this conversation with ChatGPT. What is growth mindset and how is it different from a fixed mindset?
Back. A fixed mindset is believing your abilities are mostly unchangeable. So when faced to avoid it for fear of failure, while a growth mindset sees challenges as chances to learn. That shift in perspective is what makes people more resilient and keeps them growing. Mhm. Go on.
Why is having a growth mindset important for personal and professional development?
That helps you bounce back from instead of getting stuck in them. Personally, it makes learning new skills feel less threatening. Professionally, it keeps you adaptable, open to feedback, and more willing to try roles or tasks that stretch you. Over time, that compounding effect is what fuels both personal and career growth.
How can we change the way we think about challenges and difficult situations?
For sure. Next time something hard happens, catch your first reaction. If you hear, oh great, I always mess this up, pause and try flipping it. Okay, what's one small thing I can do differently? Example, you're struggling with a software tool. Instead of I'm terrible at tech, switch to tech is tricky at first. Let's watch a short tutorial and practice. Or if a presentation goes badly, instead of I'm just not a speaker, try I need more reps. I'll ask for feedback and try again. Little shifts like that retrain your default thinking to more curious, less catastrophic.
Why do people sometimes fear failure, and how can a growth mindset help overcome that fear?
Hmm. Well, people fear failure when it feels like proof they're not good enough. That fear is usually tied to self-worth, not the actual mistake. A growth mindset reframes failure as temporary information, data you use to adjust. When you separate who you are from the outcome, failure stops feeling like an identity crisis and starts feeling like, all right, that didn't work. What's next? That mindset makes risk taking safer because mistakes don't define you, they instruct you.
How can we turn our mistakes and failure into learning opportunities?
Right after a mistake, do a quick debrief. Ask three things. What happened? What part was in my control? What's one tweak for next time? Keep it tiny and practical. Tiny tweaks add up. And if emotions are loud, wait until they cool a little before analyzing. Treat it like a science note instead of a self-critique. Small, curious, repeatable. That's how failure turns into useful learning.
What role does effort and consistent play in developing a growth mindset?
Effort and practice are the engine. Talent helps you start, but effort keeps you moving. Consistent practice builds muscle memory, confidence, and those little micro skills that compound over time. With a growth mindset, effort isn't proof you're bad at something. It's proof you're investing in getting better. That's the difference between plateauing and steadily growing.
How can students develop a growth mindset towards learning and education?
Hmm. Try treating school like training, not judging. So mistakes are clues where to train next. Use simple routines. After a quiz, review wrong answers and write what trick you'll use next time. Ask yet questions. I don't get this yet. What's another way to study? Surround yourself with peers who discuss mistakes openly and celebrate small improvements, not just top grades. Over time, that turns learning into progress instead of pressure.
How can teacher encourage students to embrace challenges instead of avoiding them?
Huh? Teachers can model growth mindset by thinking out loud. They learn from their own mistakes. They can praise strategies, not just results. Like, I liked how you revised research. Opportunities for low stakes mistakes, such as draft reviews or practice presentations. When feedback is framed as next steps instead of verdicts, students learn to see it that way too. It normalizes learning as an ongoing process, not a pass fail judgment.
How can a growth mindset help professionals adapt new technologies such as artificial intelligence?
Hmm. With a growth mindset, you treat new tech like AI as something learnable, not mysterious. You start with small basics, you experiment, watch one tutorial, try one mini project. When you get stuck, you don't label yourself as bad at AI. You adjust, ask better questions, maybe pair learn with a friend. Over time, that mindset makes the learning curve feel climbable instead of overwhelming. And hey, every expert started as a beginner who kept showing up.
How can constructive criticism contribute to personal growth?
Constructive criticism gives you specific info on how to get better. If you treat it as this is data, not this is an attack, you can tweak your approach and build a way bend the work. Over time, you learn not to fear those comments. You use them like a mirror. That habit compounds, steadily turning feedback into self improvement.
What are some practical daily habits that can help us develop a growth mindset?
Start with one tiny daily habit. For example, after finishing any task, do a 60-second review. What worked? What? And pick one to nibble on each week. Add micro learning sessions like 10 and weekly reflections. Name one win, one lesson, and one experiment for next week. And a big one, practice asking for feedback without defending yourself. Just say, thanks, I'll think on that. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you give some real life examples of people who succeeded before they continued learning despite challenges?
Absolutely. History's full of them. Think of Thomas Edison testing thousands of filaments before the light bulb worked, or J.K. Rowling rejected multiple times before Harry Potter got picked up. And Colonel Sanders starting KFC in his 60s after rejections upon rejections. They all had a growth mindset, kept learning, adjusted, didn't take rejection as their final identity. That's the common thread. Persistence, learning, and treating failure as feedback, not a verdict.
If someone wants to start developing a growth mindset today, what are the first three things they should do?
First, catch your self talk and swap I can't for I can't yet. Second, pick one tiny challenge to practice daily. Third, set a quick weekly reflection, win lesson experiment. Keep it simple and repeatable. That's enough to start shifting the mindset.
This conversation reminds us
Anytime.
challenges are not barrier to our growth. They can become opportunities to learn, improve, and become stronger. A growth mindset encourages to replace I can't do this with I can't do this yet. Thank you for watching this ChatGPT conversation. Keep learning, keep challenging yourself, and keep growing.